Imagine this, a seemingly ordinary night at your local Walmart, but unbeknownst to many, it was anything but. The hum of the fluorescent lights and the soft shuffle of late-night shoppers seemed to be the only soundtrack to this Walmart night shift. However, for one worker, this shift would prove to be anything but ordinary. He had always been a night owl, preferring the quiet and solitude that the late hours offered. But on this particular night, the stillness was interrupted by something unexpected. As the last of the customers filtered out and the automatic doors sighed shut, the worker began his usual routine. But the familiar was soon replaced with the uncanny. The first sign of something amiss was a whisper, soft and unintelligible, seemingly coming from the aisles of toys. He dismissed it as the wind or maybe the building settling. But then, it happened again, this time louder, closer. Next, the worker noticed that the toys appeared to be moving on their own. A stuffed bear that had been on the top shelf was now inexplicably on the floor. A train set was activated and chugging along its tracks without any human intervention. And then, there were the misplaced items. A can of soup in the clothing section, a pair of shoes in the freezer aisle. These were not the typical mistakes of distracted shoppers. The items were deliberately placed, almost as if trying to communicate something. The worker's initial confusion turned into a creeping sense of fear. He was alone in a vast supermarket, with whispers in the air and toys that seemed to have a life of their own. The mundane had turned macabre, and the ordinary night shift had become a chilling ordeal. As he clocked out that night, the worker couldn't shake off the eerie events of his shift. He was left with a lingering question, a puzzle that needed solving. Was this all just a prank orchestrated by a mischievous coworker, or was there something far more sinister at play? Just a prank or something more sinister? Let's delve deeper into the mystery. As the nights wore on, these eerie occurrences became increasingly threatening. It's as if the very shadows of the store began to conspire against our unsuspecting worker. In the dead of night, when the world outside was silent, the aisles of Walmart seemed to whisper his name. It was a whisper so faint, he thought he could have imagined it. But then, it happened again, and again. It was his name, echoing in the darkness, sending shivers down his spine. He would walk the aisles, feeling the weight of unseen eyes upon him. The cold touch of dread would creep up his neck, a prickling sensation that put him on high alert. Were these just tricks of the mind, or was he truly not alone in this vast labyrinth of consumer goods? The security cameras, his silent companions in the night, started to relay images that defied explanation. Shadowy figures, darting in and out of view, moving with a purpose that was chilling to behold. They seemed to appear out of nowhere, flitting between the aisles, disappearing as quickly as they came. He'd rushed to the spot only to find it empty, the air heavy with an unsettling quiet. The feeling of being watched, of being followed, grew more intense with each passing night. The presence was always there, lurking just out of sight. He could sense it in the way the air seemed to shift, in the way the silence seemed to echo around him. It was as if the store itself had come alive, stalking him as he carried out his duties. The horror was escalating. It was no longer just a feeling of unease, but a tangible terror that gripped him. Objects would move on their own, lights would flicker, and the temperature would drop inexplicably. The whispers grew louder, the shadows darker, the presence more menacing, and it was clear that this was not the work of a prankster. There was something else at play here, something far more sinister. As each night fell, it was becoming increasingly difficult to deny the chilling truth. He was not alone in the Walmart after dark. In search of answers, the worker decided to dig into the history of the Walmart store. As he delved deeper into the past, a chilling revelation came to light. The ground on which the Walmart was constructed had once been an old cemetery, a resting place for the souls now possibly disturbed. He came across old newspaper clippings, yellowed with age and brittle to touch. The headlines screamed protests against the construction of the store. The community had rallied, fervently opposing the desecration of their loved one's final resting place. The spirits of the departed, they feared, would not rest easy. The words on the paper seemed to come alive, each sentence painting a vivid picture of the resistance that had once been. The worker felt a cold shiver run down his spine as he read about the solemn vows of the protesters. They had warned of dire consequences, of restless spirits that would haunt the store. These were not just empty threats or superstitions, but heartfelt pleas falling on deaf ears. The worker's heart pounded in his chest as he pieced together the puzzle. The eerie occurrences, the unsettling feelings, the whispers in the dark, they all made a terrifying sense now. It was not just his imagination, but a haunting reality. The Walmart was built on a foundation of unrest, its walls echoing the silent screams of the disturbed spirits. The revelation was a chilling one. It brought with it a wave of fear but also a strange sense of validation. The worker was not going crazy. He was not alone. His experiences were terrifyingly real, a manifestation of the store's haunting past. The truth was out, but what could be done about it? The store stood tall, a monument to a forgotten past, a chilling reminder of a haunting truth. The spirits were restless, their peace disrupted, their anger echoing through the store's empty aisles. The worker was left with a chilling question: what happens when the dead don't rest in peace? Haunted by his experiences, the worker was left with a tough decision. A decision that would not only impact his livelihood but also his sanity. Caught between the jaws of an eerie reality and the hard rock of disbelief, he was left grappling with two choices: to leave his job at Walmart or to stay and endure the inexplicable happenings. But how does one give up on a stable income, on a job that feeds the family? It wasn't an easy decision. Night after night he found himself staring at the ceiling, the haunting images from Walmart replaying in his mind like a broken record. The whispers in the dark, the flickering lights, the inexplicable chill in the air, they all seemed to follow him home. Sleep became a luxury he could hardly afford, but the decision wasn't just about him. As the days turned into weeks, he noticed a change in his co-workers. A hushed conversation here, a shared glance there, and the undeniable feeling of discomfort that hung in the air. The once bustling aisles of Walmart started to feel hollow, the laughter and camaraderie replaced by a chilling silence. The worker realized he wasn't alone in his experiences. Other workers had started to notice the strange occurrences. Some spoke in hushed whispers about the chilling sensation that would creep up their spine at the dead of the night. Others shared tales of inexplicable happenings, items moving on their own, noises echoing from empty aisles, and shadows lurking in the corners. Finally, the worker decided to leave the job. It was a difficult decision, one that came with its own set of challenges. But, as he walked out of the doors of Walmart for the last time, he felt a sense of relief wash over him. He had chosen his sanity over his fear, his peace of mind over his job. The worker left, but the whispers of the haunted Walmart lingered. And as the sun set, casting long shadows across the deserted parking lot, one couldn't help but feel a chill run down their spine. A reminder of the eerie happenings that took place within the walls of the retail giant. Stories like these make us question what we know about the world around us. They force us to confront the uncomfortable reality that sometimes, beneath the shiny veneer of the everyday, there lurks a hidden world, shrouded in mystery and steeped in history. Let's delve into the implications of this chilling tale. The Walmart horror story does more than just send shivers down our spines. It underscores a significant issue that often goes unnoticed: the importance of respecting historical sites. These sites are not just relics of the past, they are tangible markers of our cultural heritage, brimming with stories that deserve to be preserved and respected. The unsettling events that unfolded at Walmart serve as a stark reminder of the potential consequences for neglecting this responsibility. The eerie happenings, the whispers in the dark, the unexplained phenomena, all of these could be interpreted as echoes of a past that refuses to be silenced, a past that demands recognition and respect. This leads us to an ongoing debate: should commercial buildings be constructed on historical sites? There are those who argue that progress and development should not be hindered by the chains of history. But then, there are others who believe that we owe it to our ancestors and to future generations to preserve these historical markers. It's a delicate balance to strike, and there's no easy answer. The Walmart horror story prompts us to contemplate these issues. It's a tale that transcends the boundaries of the supernatural, touching upon real-world dilemmas that we face today. It's a story that encourages us to reflect on our place in the world, on our relationship with history, and on the legacy that we leave behind. So the next time you find yourself wandering the brightly lit aisles of your local Walmart, remember this: you're not just walking through a store, you're walking through a slice of history. And who knows, you might not be alone. Remember, the next time you walk into your local Walmart, you might not be alone.